Rumors are swirling Washington that Barron Trump to start making speeches at Trump rallies, that he's being groomed for a job in any future administration. He has yet to comment on the story that his daddy was having hawk tuah with a porn star and was too busy to attend his birth.
You know, I'm not allowed to call them
Mummy
boy,
Melania is still
boy. He's my
AWOL.
boy. They're all my boys, right? When you have sons, you can be any age. They're your boy. They're always going to be. And he's a very special guy. Barron Trump. This is the first time he's ever done. Barron. Where is Barron? Look at him. That's the first time he's done it. That's the first time, right? Hey, you're pretty popular. He might be more popular than Don and Eric. We got to talk about it. Hey, Don, we got to talk about this, huh? All right. So, Barron, it's good to have you. Welcome to the scene, Barron. I don't know. He had such a nice, easy life. Now it's a little bit changed. Anyway, a special guy, right?
They still see paths to win. They acknowledge it kind of has to be through Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. That might now be his only path to victory. And Mike Barnacle, we also shouldn't lose sight of what a moment last night was. A moment that I don't know that we've ever seen before in modern American political history, where a sitting president had a primetime news conference to defend his mental and physical abilities while trying to stave off a mutiny from his own party.
Yeah. What's amazing to me is the amount of attention we pay in the media, all of us, to the flubs. You know, Vice President Trump instead of Vice President Harris, things like that. That stuff has come with the dinner with Joe Biden for 40 years. And we regard it each and every time he makes a flub as it's shocking. It's not shocking. What's truly shocking in terms of balance, and you referenced it, is Donald Trump's, not flubs, his incendiary rhetoric. Rhetoric aimed at dividing the country, at turning one group of people against another group of people, of threatening institutions like NATO, of threatening a country like Ukraine, things like that. We pay less attention to his rhetoric than we do, oh my God, he called her Vice President Trump. No. We have to get our act together and balance this thing out.
Well, we do, as you know very well, Mike, for 4 long hours every morning. We talk about Donald Trump and everything he proposes and all the damage he's done and could do further. And we're going to do a deep dive in just a few minutes into Project 2025 as well. Let's bring in NBC News Washington managing editor Carol Lee. And
ever notice how CNN treats Trump better than Biden? It's almost like they have a favorite child. Let's break down this bizarre media favoritism, shall we? First off, let's talk about the glaring double standards. Biden makes a gaffe, and it's headline news.
Critique of Biden right now.
I'll tell you, I left Texas, and I left Florida, and I left Louisiana, and I went to Puerto Rico, and I met with the president of the Virgin Islands.
The latest act of resistance is the op-ed published in the failing New York Times by an anonymous, really an anonymous.
The poor guy mispronounces a name, and suddenly it's a full-blown scandal. But when Trump does the same, it's either laughed off or conveniently ignored.
Critique of Biden right now.
My wife, our great first lady, she was a great for people. Loved her. Yeah, people love her. Oh, look at that. Wow. Mercedes, that's pretty good. Yeah, she's good.
It's almost like there's a rule book for handling Biden's slip-ups and another for Trump's. Take, for instance, Biden's recent misstep. He flubbed a name at a press conference, and the media pounced.
Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin.
The headlines read, Biden's mental fitness in question. Is Biden too old? But remember when Trump mispronounced Yosemite? Crickets. No questions about his mental acuity.
National Assembly. They are risking
their future. They are risking their lives and Venezuela's future. You've really put a big investment in our country. We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges of the investigation, the beginnings. In June of 1775, the Continental Congress created a unified army out of the revolutionary forces encamped around Boston and New York, and named after the great George Washington, Commander-in-Chief. Our army manned the air. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do.
Just a few chuckles and a quick move on. Now, why would the media, especially CNN, give Trump such an easy ride? Could it be because Trump is a ratings goldmine? Think about it. Trump's presidency was a never-ending reality TV show.
President Biden has been relatively invisible yet.
His unpredictable nature, outrageous statements, and larger-than-life persona kept viewers glued to their screens. And what do more viewers mean? More money from adverts. In the world of cable news, clicks and ratings are king.
Let us rethink old assumptions and open our hearts and minds to possible and possibilities as they struggle to reclaim their religious and righteous destiny. But despite reported and repeated warnings, tolerance for human struggling and human smuggling and trafficking is not humane. 2 jobs and sometimes 3 jobs, they sacrifice every day for the furniture and future of their children. Authority and authoritarian powers through their lives and though their lives.
Trump knows how to draw a crowd, and the media knows it too. They might criticize him on the surface, but deep down, they miss the Trump show. They know that a Trump presidency means more drama, more scandals, and ultimately more viewers.
This is no longer a media framing.
The kidney has a very special place in the heart. It's an incredible thing. In addition, up to 11,000 more Americans could receive heart, lung, and liver transplants annually. He was awarded the Bronze Star and the Combat Infantryman Badge for his service. Open wounds cannot heal if we are divided. We must seek real bipartisan solutions. This is the very definition of totalitarianism. When they gaze upon Yosemite's towering sequoias, their love of country grows stronger, and they know that every American has truly a duty to preserve this wondrous inheritance and to avoid liability, shifting production to Thailand and to Vietnam. I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
Fox News, on the other hand, doesn't even try to hide their affection for Trump. They embraced him with open arms from day one. It's almost comical how they fawn over him. But what's surprising is how CNN, supposedly the anti-Trump network, can't resist the allure of Trump drama. It's almost as if they want him back in the White House. Sure, they'll criticize him, but they also know that a Biden presidency is, well, kind of boring in comparison. No late-night tweet storms, no impromptu press conferences with wild accusations, no constant controversies. For cable news, that's a nightmare. So, the next time you see a headline bashing Biden for a minor slip-up, remember this: it's all about the ratings. The media needs drama, and Biden just doesn't deliver the same level of chaos as Trump. They need Trump, they want Trump, and they'll bend over backward to keep him in the spotlight.
We have Matt Blum. Nambia's health system is increasingly self-sufficient. But what we just saw, we just left pleasure. Paradise. Or paradise. We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
In your June 21 statement that's marked as Exhibit 20, You say, and this is the Litvin tweet, I never met this person in my life.
Yes.
So you're saying that at the time you made the statement that's in DJT 20, you were not aware of ever having met Ms. Carroll. You have since seen a photograph that shows you with Ms. Carroll on a receiving line.
Along with a lot of other people.
You have in front of you a black and white photograph that we've marked as DJT 23. And I'm going to ask you, is this the photo that you were just referring to?
I think so, yes.
Okay. And do you recall when you first saw this photo?
At some point during the process, I saw it. That's, I guess, her husband, John Johnson, who was an anchor for ABC. Nice guy, I thought. I mean, I don't know him, but I thought he was pretty good at what he did. I don't even know who the woman. Let's see. I don't know who. It's Marla.
You say Marla's in this photo?
That's Marla. Yeah, that's my wife.
Which woman are you pointing to? No.
Here.
Carol.
Oh, is that?
The person
oh,
you just pointed to was
oh, I
Jean
see.
Carroll.
Who is that? Who is this?
Point, your wife.
And the woman on the right is your then wife,
I don't know.
Ivana?
This was the picture.
Ivana.
I assume that's John Johnson. Is that
That's Carol.
Carol? 'Cause it's very blurry.
Quick confession before I snack on my little cookies I have here. We've been trying for a while to get to talk to, you know, these talking heads where they do the split screen and they'll be asked a question relative to a current topic. So, for instance, right now, it's all about President Biden, the fallout from the debate, yada, yada, yada. What's fascinating about these so-called professional talking heads is you can tell they're only in it for the money and they follow a particular script. They wouldn't dare speak to somebody who's going to ask them some direct questions. I'll play you in a moment a little bit of, to prove my point, I'll play you in a moment a little bit of the guy that used to make tea for Mitch McDonald, Scott Jennings, who was on with Jim Acosta. And it's fascinating. So there, Jim Acosta, at one stage, was somebody you could, well, be guaranteed would take a very neutral position, try and tell the truth. But even he's been swayed by the conservative news network. This poll that's come out, bearing in mind everything that Biden's been under, you would expect Trump to be way, way, way in front. But of course, Jennings makes up some garbage excuse and there's no pushback. The guy that's meant to be supposedly on the side of the Democrats, as he actually voted for Biden, he reinforces the game CNN are playing. It's a bit like, take something as simple as turning on and off your mobile phone. 9.5 times out of 9, it's going to turn itself straight back on. If there's one chance it doesn't, and it doesn't come on, some people, friends, will say, oh, my phone may not come on. Oh, my phone may not come on. Oh, my phone may not come on. It might rain once. Oh, it may rain. It may rain. It may rain. That's what they're doing with Biden. Totally held to such a different standard as the former guy who glitches on stage, lies, has convictions, has more court cases coming up, whose wife has not been seen. Do you get where we're coming from? Just a total different standard. I don't see any newspapers or magazines or, talking heads calling for Trump to be removed. And this is the funniest, it's an excuse that they use about it all. Oh, well, you can't really question anything that Trump does. One, because all the Republican Party are united. They want revenge because they got booted out 4 years ago. So they'll do anything for power. And also, at the end of the day, Trump is more popular. So it doesn't matter if he breaks the law. It doesn't matter if he's not comprehensive. It doesn't matter if he's a liar. It doesn't matter if he cheats on his wife. It doesn't matter if he's frail or old or any of these things. His name's Trump. And that means all the difference. And I cannot believe you have news organizations. CNN's a huge, big news organization that goes along with it. Because, well, they're making clicks. So you might as well get to know it's not just Project 25 that's going to come hurtling down in front of you. The truth is going to be postponed that no one's going to take an interest in anything that you really care about, like jobs or I don't know, education. I mean, forget all of that. You know, America is suddenly going to... Here's the thing, okay? Right, America is respected. Right? It really, really is. I went to the embassy recently. I'm not going to tell you which embassy. It was a European embassy. They are respected. When Trump says America's not respected around the world, total garbage. It really, truly is respected. But hey, there'll be lots of discussions on the border. There'll be all of the stuff on the border. What, you got an infrastructure problem? You got a medical problem? Bills and all that stuff? Don't worry about that. You'll be able to watch wall to wall the border. Project 25 is coming your way. Oh. Here's an interesting thing. They say politics is a very dirty word, like really dirty word. The reason I say that is I don't really know how we talk about this because it could be rumours and it could just be an element of truth. But the story that Morning Joe mentioned today, or Mickey from Morning Joe mentioned, I found fascinating in terms of all of this minutiae being poured and aimed in the direction of President Biden. Every day a new layer seems to be added just as you think the story is going to go away. On Wednesday, we were treated to this op-ed of George Clooney. Now, George Clooney is entitled to his view. Only recently he was on stage with Barack Obama and also President Biden. Now, the story comes out today, Thursday, that George Clooney, and I will let you see this in a moment. I don't often talk beforehand, but I do have something to say that George Clooney checked with Obama before he did the op-ed. Now, the interesting thing about that has led people to say, and this is not me, I don't necessarily believe it.
And you heard the Prime Minister, you heard Netanyahu yesterday.